Okay, seems like some of these situations have started to grow legs. Um, yeah, let's talk about it. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Young, Famous, and African. This is season 1, episode 5. As I said, some of these situations have started to grow legs. Most notably, the situation between Zari and Annie, and also the situation between Zari and and it's Andile. And I know y'all been laughing in the comments because I always call him Andale, like Andale, but it's Andile. So I'm gonna try. Look, I told you, as I get the names together, I'll get it together. I apologize. It's Andile, not Andale. Okay, so I'll try to keep that together. All right. So those things, Zari basically has come into the show and shook the foundation, is what she's done thus far. So at any rate, Nadia has returned. She's come back. They showed a couple flashes from her being in Mexico with old boy, and he is fine. You understand me? Fine. He really is. He's really sharp. Vic, sharp. But yeah, they had a good time doing their thing for her birthday over there in Mexico, and she's back. Now she comes back in and she meets up with Connie, and Connie is bringing her up to speed on what is actually going on with everybody, giving her all the tea. Baby, Miss Nadia is not impressed. She is completely not impressed by the whole Annie Zari situation because she doesn't like Zari. She does not care for Zari. She made it very evident later on in the episode when she actually had to sit down with Andile. You know, her and Andile are friends. And she let him know, don't like her. Period. I think she's shady. And I think she got some bull crap with her. So she's not... she ain't feeling that at all. Moving on. She had actually told her, Connie told her, she said, I'm going to get together with Zari to really see what her angle is with Annie and what is she trying to do with Annie. So Zari ends up meeting up with Connie. They have this little tea, honey, so she could figure out her angle. I said, don't you got a lot of nerve? Did you forget that we didn't forget that you got an angle that you plan to work on Annie as well, Miss Connie? I got my good eye on you, Miss Connie, but okay. Anyway, so she tells Zari, she sits her down and she's like, you know, the way that you're coming at Annie and the way that you've come at Annie, you know, all the stuff involving her husband, it really ain't cool. It doesn't look cool. And the thing is, y'all are looking into a mirror. It's like she is intimidated by you, but you should be able to understand it because the whole cheating thing with her man and that, you understand it because you went through it. I said, girl, Ms. Zari, you don't even realize Connie's reading both of y'all. She's reading both of you all. She's looking down with pity on both of you all that have been cheated on and beat down, and y'all are both insecure. Really. No matter what you say. I said, oh, Miss Connie, you one shady number, girl. But anyway, I see you, honey. Anyway, and then she told her, she said, I wish that when you pull to Bubba to the side and talk to him, I wish that you could have talked to him about, is he aware of the damage that he's actually done to Annie? And instead of, you know, going over there and making him aware that his wife is insecure, she's running around her like a chicken with her head cut off, basically. I said, girl, you working an angle on everybody. I just laughed. I said, okay. Zari was like, I get it. I said, girl, you've been had, honey. Anyway, moving on. Next, we see Swanky and Annie and Kaylee and Nadia all together. And they're telling Kaylee, girl, like, we see what's going on with you. Things ain't going well with y'all. And it's because you need to go home. You need to go home, honey. You're there like y'all are married. Y'all are not married. You all aren't married. And you've basically thrust yourself into his life. You got to save something. You done gave up the whole cowgirl and ain't been, there's no, we ain't no marriage. You're doing everything like you're a wife. You're not his wife. And you're smothering him. You need to go home. And she's sitting there and she was kind of, you can tell she's a little bit offended. And she's like, because she was downplaying how much time she actually spends there. Girl, it is what it is. Honey, it's already been talked about. Everybody knows. Anyway, so they end up more catching Nadia up on what has been happening. This time they were talking about the whole Andile and Zari thing. And she's like, really? She said, no, it's the hypocrisy for me, because when we were at Diamond's party, Andile is the one that pulled me to the side, telling me about my situation with Diamond and the position that I was playing. So she's like, it's the hypocrisy for me, so I'm going to talk to him. And she did. She pulled him to the side. She talked to him about all that. And told, I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a second with them too. Let's move on from this. So we had that whole thing. And then I'm sitting here and I'm looking, and they said it a couple times in this episode that Swanky is the best dressed man in the world. And I have to say, Swanky is just that. He's swanky as hell. Swanky be so clean. So clean. Oh my God. Just so clean. And this is the thing that's so funny, because I know in African culture, sexuality is like it's a big one. And he is like, his whole style is very androgynous, and it's like it skates that line, but he's built that, like he's built perfect for the stuff. Like he's built like a model, not female, but not male. Like he's not overly muscular or anything. And he just slays, like he slays in his clothes. He gives me very much Grace Jones. He's like the male version. Well, there is a male version of Grace Jones, because you all know Grace Jones is a twin. And strangely enough, he actually does remind me of Grace and her twin. Like he could have been the triplet or maybe the child of one of them, because he has that whole thing going on. His body is perfect for these clothing. Like it doesn't look strange on him. It's not like he's busted out. It's not like he's too muscular to be in ruffles. He is just perfect for what he wears, and the bitch slays. I'm like, every time he comes into a scene, I'm like, bitch, really? And there's been some pieces that he mixed together. I'll be like, ooh, what is that? But he's one of them people to just be able to pull stuff off. But for the most part, when he shows up, you used to be like, bitch. When he showed up at the toward the end of the episode for his cover reveal party, that bitch was so clean. I said, Miss Swanky, quit playing with me. Quit playing with me. But I love the way he's greeted in the show. No shade at all. And that just always, from the beginning, I was like, oh, this is interesting. I was like, I didn't think I'd see anybody with a feminine overtone to them at all. I don't know. They don't touch on his sexuality at all. They haven't said that he's gay or not, but he has a feminine overtone to him. You know, his femininity is right out there, and nobody touches on it. So I was like, that's really cool. That's really cool. Really cool. Anyway, so not yet anyway. We're 5 episodes in, so I pretty much think, yeah, it just is what it is. He seems to be. He's the one person on the show that everybody likes, it seems. So, you know, that's that, male and female. And the males don't seem standoffish of them. There's no shade. You can't detect any shade. Look, I'm living for it. I'm living for it. I'm actually watching another show, which, you know, the gay versus straight thing is just driving me nuts over on the Boys Club. Boys Club LA. It's so ridiculous on that show, and to see it here, I actually expected it here, and everybody's just really, it's just highbrow. Everybody highbrow about everything over here. Anyway, it's cool. Moving on. Okay, so Zari meets up with Andile, and they were having it's a little date, and they both They know they out of order. That's the only thing about them too. They both know that they're out of order. They do. They both know they're out of order. He's out of bro code. She's in a position where it's like, really? You doing this? Carrying on with your baby's daddy's good friend? Y'all both know y'all out of order. And he said, maybe it looks a little opportunistic. No, it looks completely opportunistic with the fact that Diamond doesn't know what's going on and Diamond's not around. And it seems as though you've waited until Diamond wasn't around to push forward with this. It looks, and it is, very opportunistic. Period. And I think you know that Diamond wouldn't like it. And y'all would have a problem. But he came in, he tells her, she says something, oh, friend. And he's like, I'm not your friend. And I'm like, what the hell? And it's going back on. She's trying to push him. He said, I feel you fighting me. Yes, she's trying to push you into the friend zone. And you ain't trying to be in the friend zone because you want to bang. You want to bang. And you keep on going back to this. I don't know what this is. You know exactly what it is. She sends tangles below your waist. Period. You know what it is. Stop playing. On delay. Stop that playing. Moving on. Moving on. Then we have this little double date. I said, oh, look at here. Connie, minding other people's business as usual. She has a little double date between herself and Kazi and Annie and Tubaba. I said, really? Okay. So she ends up asking Annie, is it okay if I pull him to the side, talk to him a little bit? She gets over there and she's talking to him, and this is the thing. Well, she started off with, I've grown to love your wife so much. I said, stop. When you start loving Annie, if you don't stop that lying, I said, now though I love your old sparkly jumpsuit you got on, ma'am, I love this. She had this sequin bell bought. It was a palazzo pants jumpsuit was short. But girl, that lie you telling, I ain't feeling it at all. I love your wife. Girl, if you don't stop this mess, honey. I said, she ought to quit. So she's going on and telling him, she's basically telling him, you know, you really need to let her know. Since, you know, the day that you all renew your vows, you need to put in a special message just to let her know that you got her and that you love her. Now, in his confessional, he's saying, you know, my first reaction is really like, mind your business. But at the same time, he appreciates her having her back. And I'm saying, Tababa, baby, watch her. She ain't got her back. She got her own back. Miss Connie is working Jack, honey. She's working Jack. Do you understand? She's doing the keep your enemies close. And she going to lower the boom on Annie at some point. She going to rock Annie's world. That's the plan. That's the plan. She don't love no damn Annie. She needs to stop that mess, honey. And then she had told me, you know, when I first met you, I didn't like you. I didn't care for you. And it was more of a like a fuck you type of thing, you know, at how you have broken her and this, that, and the other. But now that I've gotten to know you, blah, 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 whatever. All of it's just bull, honey. She don't like your wife. She probably do like you at the fact that you made your wife vulnerable for her to be able to maul and attack later. So, let's call honey. You, girl, you a mess, girl. You really know how to work it, though, girl. You're vicious, honey. You are vicious. Vicious. Anyway, moving on. Annie gets together with Andile. Now, them two, you know, they're close. Those two are close. And she was talking to him about Missouri. And she says, she busts out laughing. She's like, oh my God, you actually have a crush on her. And he was steadily going on and saying, you know, I don't know what this is. All that bull crap. She said, listen. She said, what about your friendship with Diamond? And you need to respect boundaries. I'm not on board with what you're doing. I see you. I'm not on board with what you're doing. And that was that. Moving on, like I said, we talked about the Swanky's cover reveal and how clean he was. DJ Naked didn't show up. And Kaylee said, oh, he's working tonight. That's a lie. He wasn't working. What had happened is they got into a fight and he didn't want to be around her at all. and he just bowed out on the party, which in turn upset Swanky. Swanky's feelings were really, really hurt at the fact that he didn't show up for the party. And it was this GQ, it was a GQ ad. Really sharp, really sharp. Definitely a huge accomplishment for him. And he was really hurt that his friend wasn't there. And it was due to Kaylee and her bullcrap. He didn't invite Zari. And that's what I was like, oh. See, you've been pushed into a place where you got to choose sides. And I said, oh, no, Swanky, no. I was like, please, Swanky, don't choose sides because it's going to be a mess. That's women's mess. And you choosing sides is going to be a mess. But his voice really holds power in that circle. He took it personal. The stuff that, as he got all the information, he's taking it personal. What Zari is doing, he sees it, and he took it. You know, you've upset me. You violated my sister. You violated my sister, and either you gonna make it right or we gonna fall out. That's where he was. He chose his side. Period. And then he knew Zari, so he know her. He know her for her works, I'm sure. But I was just like, oh God, don't put yourself in the middle of that mess. But anyway, that was that. So she didn't get invited to the party. That told me right away. We knew who picked who and how. And that was that. Moving on. I told you Nadia and Andile had got together. She told, I don't like Nadia. I don't like Zari. And that's that. And he told her, well, I feel like everyone's against her and I want to be that friend for her along with all that other bull crap. Nadia, you know, Nadia is ghetto. She's like, I ain't trying to hear all that. She's like, listen, friend, this is what I'm going to tell you. When this blows up in your face, and oh, it will blow up in your face, I'm going to tell you that I told you so. I said, I know that's right. Moving on. Moving on, moving on, moving on. Naked and Swanky got together, and Naked's little boy, I think he's 9, but he had his little boy out, and they were going bike riding and everything, and he got to talk with Naked, and Swanky got to talk. Same time, we're watching simultaneously where Kaylee is speaking with Nadia, and the issue that they had, he had a job, and he hired a person to work the job who is someone he had sex with before. And that's where Kaylee was mad about. She was mad about it. Saying, well, why? And then why did he just keep it from me? It just don't look right. And this, that thing, and the other. And then that's what broke them up. That relationship is in trouble. That relationship is in trouble. Period. They end up, Swanky's like, you know, you have to deal with what you got going on with Kaylee, and you got to deal with it head on. All this running, because it's like they haven't been around each other. Literally, they separated out for like 7 days. She hadn't heard from them in 7 days. We end up seeing them in therapy. Swanky had told him, you know, you can't keep running from it. You got to deal with whatever it is, good, bad, or, you know, ugly. You just got to do it. They go to therapy. Same thing. The lady told him, you have to stop running. You know, you have to stop running. 7 days with no contact at all. And she's saying, you know, I don't know. I mean, you know, who's to say next time it could be 1 day and I'll be done because I'm at the point where I just don't have any more to give. You know, this, that, thing, and the other. And he apologized to her. He apologized to her. But this is my thing. I still say that the relationship is in trouble because even with that going on, this problem, the initial problem still exists. You still are too clingy. You are up in the house 24/7. He wants you to go home. He wants you to go home. So y'all ain't never addressed that part. That relationship's in trouble. Anyway, moving on. Last thing, Annie, Swanky, and Zari. Because after Swanky had his little talk with Zari, he had his little talk with Zari and told her, you know, I don't like what's going on. I don't like what's going on. You know, you, like I said, you violated my sister and I'm upset with you about it. And they kept talking. She's explaining herself. Says, okay, well, it looks like this is all pretty much a misunderstanding. He says, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. I want to get it together. It's going to be you two need to talk, but I want to be there. I said, oh, God, don't put yourself in this crap. But he's like, I'm going to be there, and I think it's just a misunderstanding. We can get it all straightened away, and that'll be that. Child, they show up for the little tea. Show up for the little tea. Annie show up, guns ablaze. She come in a jogging suit, child. Had her little sunglasses on. She was shady as hell. She was shady. She wasn't even feeling none of the fake that Zari was serving. Zari came in. She played her part. She did. She played her part. She wasn't willing. And all it is, she ain't willing to fall out with Swanky. That's all. That's all. She came in. She apologized. She bought Annie flowers and told her they're beautiful flowers just like you. I'm really sorry. You know, she was trying to explain, and Annie was like, I don't want to hear her explain shit to me. I don't want to hear it. It's fake. She don't mean it. I don't want to hear it. I'm like, yeah, but you could have played nice, Annie. Annie didn't want to play nice. She's like, her. Period. You know, Annie said, fine, I accept your apology. I apologize about the nasty things that were said, you know, back and forth with us. I apologize. And it's cool. We're cool. Let's just move on. And honey, Swanky was happy, okay? Annie got in her confessional. She said she didn't mean it. She didn't mean any of it. I said, no, she didn't. She didn't, Annie. But you could have played nice. Again, this is the only problem, Annie. You're letting Zari know that she gets to you. She knows she can get to you. And that's where you're going to always lose with her. You got to learn to play nice. Don't let your emotions overtake you. But she's fake and she's phony. And she is out to get you. Her and Connie. You better sit up straight, girl, and figure out what's going on here, Miss Annie. Take your feelings out of this, girl. You got to learn how to play this game, girl, because those heifers is after you, baby. Period. That's my feeling. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Listen, this has been episode 5 of Young, Famous, and African. Baby, listen, y'all know what I say every time. Love it. And I'll see y'all on the next episode. Later.